You ever come home hoping to surprise your family, only to realize you were the one walking straight into the truth? That was me on Christmas Eve. 31 degrees outside, dropping fast. My breath cracked in the air as I walked up the path with gifts tucked under my arm. I wanted to see my wife's face light up. I wanted to see my little girl, Emma, jump into my arms like she always did. But the driveway was too still, too quiet. No laughter, no shadows behind the blinds, just the cold pressing in from every direction. When I stepped onto the porch, everything inside me stopped. Emma sat there, curled against the wall, shivering so hard her teeth chattered. No coat, no gloves, just a thin sweater someone would throw on to grab the mail, not survive a freezing night. She tried to say my name, but her voice cracked, and that alone told me something was terribly wrong. I felt her body, she was freezing, borderline limp, and instinct took over. I scooped her up before my mind even caught up. Then I heard it through the door. Music. Soft jazz. A cork popping. And my wife's laughter, warm, rich, careless, floating through the house like nothing outside existed. While our daughter sat on the porch turning blue, I leaned in, listening. A man's voice answered her. Not mine, not even close. And something deep in my chest bent, then snapped. I didn't knock. I didn't call out. I kicked the door open so hard the frame split. Heat and firelight spilled across the floor, wrapping the whole scene in a glow that made my stomach turn. Rebecca froze with her champagne glass halfway to her lips. You left her out to die. She started talking fast, spilling excuses about Emma wanting to play outside, a lie so flimsy it fell apart the second she breathed it out. While she scrambled for words, I noticed everything she tried to hide: 2 plates, 2 glasses, a half-burned candle, and a smell of cologne drifting through the room that didn't belong to me. Neglect has a scent, but betrayal has its own, sharper, rotten, dressed in perfume and candlelight. The next morning, before the sun even touched the windows, I was already awake. Rebecca slept upstairs like nothing in the world had shifted. Emma was curled into my side on the couch, fever fading, breaths finally steady. I kissed her forehead, tucked her deeper under the blanket, and began pulling on the threads of the truth. Phone records, unfamiliar numbers, a name I recognized from college, Jason. Messages she hadn't bothered hiding well. Lines full of promises, secrets, and a version of her I didn't recognize anymore. I didn't confront her. I didn't explode. I documented. Every receipt, every text, every hotel stay. I built a story she wouldn't be able to talk her way out of, page after page, until the folder had weight, real weight. When it was ready, I placed it on the kitchen table. The tree lights blinked behind us, pretending it was still a merry holiday. Rebecca walked in, eyes narrowing at the sight of the file. What? What is this supposed to be? Your life, I told her. She opened it and started reading. I watched her face drain of color in real time. Hotel check-ins, messages, the champagne she bought right before leaving Emma outside. Her whole double life printed in black and white. You went through my... I didn't need words to stop her. I pressed play on my phone instead. Jason's voice filled the room, soft, intimate, full of promises meant for someone else's wife. She stared at me like the air had been sucked out of her lungs. Then I said 6 more words. She knows what you really are. Rebecca turned. Emma was standing there in the doorway, blanket around her shoulders, eyes wide and sad in a way no child's eyes should ever be. Rebecca reached for her, crawling across the floor. Emma stepped back like she didn't know this woman at all, and I let the silence do the rest. Silence can slice deeper than any shout. The next day, I packed slowly, deliberately, making sure Emma could see that we were leaving, not running. Rebecca begged, promised, bargained, fell apart, but her words had no weight anymore. They were smoke in a cold room. By nightfall, Emma and I were on the road. Snowflakes drifted across the headlights as she slept in the back seat, finally warm.